What is going on, beautiful people? It's absolutely beautiful. It's been kind of crappy weather the last couple weeks. The snow actually finally went away. We got like over a foot of snow for sure. But the snow went away, and this is probably the third or fourth day in a row that we've had nice weather. Now it is chilly. It did get up into like the 50s the other day, but now it is pretty chilly. But a nice day. It has me in a good mood to hit some arms. Now, arms, what is today? Today's Friday, so arms tend to fall somewhere later in the week, like Thursday, Friday, and then I'll also hit them again probably on Sunday. So it's a 2 a week sort of deal. Some of my muscle groups, like back, sometimes is 1 day a week. Legs for sure is 1 day a week. And then the muscle groups that I'm trying to prioritize will be 2 days a week or two times a week. So arms is 2 times a week. This is going to be the first time that we do them. I would throw them in at the beginning of the workout or at the beginning of the week, but I like to get the tough workouts out of the way. For me, that's like, legs and chest and back, kind of get the big components out of the way. And then towards the end of the week, it's easier to kind of go in and, do an arm workout or do a shoulder workout in like an hour and get in and out. So I like to put a lot of emphasis on those hard muscle groups at the beginning of the week, just because I'm like kind of locked in and ready to go. Towards the end of the week, you start winding down and you kind of just want to go in and get a pump and do cardio if you're doing cardio. Oh, I have my Beats on. I didn't even realize that. I wear these Beats. I go in and out of phases. I don't know if you guys do this too, like with different sets of headphones. But when I wear these Beats consistently, I will wear them every single day, 17 hours, just because they're so easy to just like pop up back on my head and not even think about them. And lately I've been wearing a lot of hats too, so I can't really feel them. But today's arms, like I said, as for what that looks like, I'm not really sure. I've been bouncing around with, what I'm doing. I know the biggest thing, I'll tell you what I like for sure with arms is I like preacher curls for biceps because they're so isolated. And for triceps, I kind of bounce around on like what I want to do. I typically just try to get like a gnarly squeeze and then a gnarly stretch. Now for the squeeze portion, those are typically like pretty simple workouts, like some kind of like crossbody cable or even just like a rope. Lately I've been doing like push downs on a lat pull down machine. I don't know why the pulley feels different and I can get a gnarly squeeze on that. I think because the cable can kind of move a little more freely, so it goes well with the body. So I've been doing that for like more of a squeeze. Now with the stretching, that's where I kind of run into an issue where I start to like mess around a lot and kind of lose the like flow of the workout is because I can't really figure out something that feels good. I think it's because my shoulders are so worn down just from benching, shoulder raises, and back. Shoulders are just so overused. So when it's time to do something that's like stretching over my head or even like a skull crusher, I feel like my shoulders are kind of hindering, how it should feel. Some people don't have any issues with that, but I think my shoulders are probably getting in the way. But preacher curls for sure on biceps, and then a stretch and a squeeze for triceps. Now, I don't really like to go in with a crazy plan. I do like for certain muscle groups, if I'm starting to get out of hand, like some muscle groups, if I'm really trying to emphasize them, I will, spend so long in the gym doing different things, trying to feel it exactly how I want to feel it, try to get the craziest pump, and then before I know it, I get kind of out of hand. So, like with my chest workouts, I've been, kind of getting out of hand with them. They've been taking a long time just because I'm trying to make sure that I get the craziest pump possible, get the most out of that workout because I'm really trying to emphasize chest and shoulders. So I need to kind of dial those back. So chest days, I have more of a little plan right now in regards to knowing like I'm going to start with flies and then move on to different inclines after that. But outside of that, even on those days, like I wouldn't get so stuck on like a plan that you have because most of the time, either one, it's not feeling the right way, or two, the gym is busy, so it's tough to like plan a workout in and then, or plan a workout and then go in and hit it exactly how you planned it. And I think if you are too strict on what you want to do, you're just gonna like get disappointed during the workout because you're gonna find out, oh, this thing doesn't work or doesn't feel well, or someone's on that machine, and they're just gonna be all flared up and upset about, your workout not going according to plan. So I would approach your workouts with a general idea of what you want to do, muscle groups you want to target, and then just go with the flow. Uh, be more relaxed with your workouts, and it also will take a lot of stress off your workouts. I think at the end of the day, just go hard. And I realized that in my last video, or I didn't realize it, but I kind of came to the realization that I think that's why I like lifting so much, is because it's a, sort of hobby or thing in your life that you can overwhelm with effort. There's a lot of other areas in your life where you can't really overwhelm them with effort. Like if you think about, like, I don't know, good analogies like football maybe. You know, to an extent, you can, use your strength and use your like aggression for your to help you, but someone's going to outsmart you eventually, and at the end of the day, it comes down to form and technique. You can have a smaller guy that has better form, hips are lower, hands are tighter, and he's gonna overpower you just because he is more technically sound compared to you, who's just trying to overwhelm with strength and like aggression. But the gym is kind of different in the fact that if you go to failure and you push yourself super hard with the most basic plan, you're probably going to see the craziest results. And I think you're going to see more results doing that, just going hard, not being too worried about what you're going to do, but just picking some workouts and going hard, taking it to failure and the recovery, as compared to someone who is like so strict on what they're doing, making sure like I'm hitting 4 sets of this in 12 reps, and when they're done at 12, they're done. It's like, okay, well, maybe maybe you have a system, but I think working out honestly comes down to the meat and potatoes. And I think the meat and potatoes is effort and the basics, right? The basic movements. Sorry. But not saying those cool little workouts and having a plan don't mean anything, but the biggest thing that has taken, or I think that takes guys that you see on the internet, those physiques, to the next level, is they just go so insane. And it's fun when you work out with someone like that who, knows a lot about lifting, has a good plan, knows what they're doing, but more importantly, they're just like going insane. They're pushing you, one more, one more, one more. That's super fun because you make up for so much air when you just push yourself super hard. And working out with someone like that one time, who like knows how to work out, knows how to really push you, then raises the bar for your own personal workouts when you're by yourself. So the biggest thing is just push yourself. I think a good example of that is like if you're like a average lifter, and then one day you're to work out with like Tom Platz. You did a leg day with Tom Platz. You might not be able to recreate that kind of leg day again, but your bar's raised now. So now when you go back into the gym by yourself, you're going to kind of know, okay, this is kind of how I have to feel. This is the effort that I have to put forth towards this workout. Sorry if I'm like jittery. It's still kind of chilly out, but it is beautiful. Before this workout, I had a little bit of what did I have? Oh, I had some deer venison. I had like 500 grams of deer venison. Now, I don't typically weigh it out in grams. I just accidentally weighed it out in grams. And then when I walked back to like switch it over to ounces, it flipped off. So, so I couldn't have time to like change it to ounces. So I saw that it was like 500 some grams, and so that's what I entered it as. But we did or ground venison, which is deer. For you guys that don't know, I love hunting. It's the best free source of protein. So we got deer venison, and then I typically would eat that with some rice. But my fiance, she is cutting currently, and something her and I like to eat when we're cutting is spaghetti squash. It's spaghetti squash is kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's basically pumpkin, right? Because I think a pumpkin is a squash, but you basically cook it. You cut it in half, cook it, and then scrape out the insides, and that's the insides is what you eat, and it's really good, and it's kind of a good way to make your foods feel more like voluminous, to like add volume to them, especially if you're cutting. Instead of like eating a big bowl of rice and beef, instead you can have a big bowl of spaghetti squash and beef, which is significantly less calories. So she made a bunch of spaghetti squash, and she wasn't going to eat it. And she asked if I wanted it because she was going to throw it away. And I was like, yeah, I'll have it. Even though I'm bulking right now, and spaghetti squash is pretty low calories, I figured I would eat it with my ground venison. So because that meal was pretty low in carbs and we're about to work out, on top of that, I ate some, we had some English muffins in there. I think they're 150 calories a piece. So I had an English muffin with some honey and sugar-free jam. You might be thinking, why are you eating, sugar-free jam if you're having honey? I don't know. You know, I think honey is like the only, well, honey and cereal is like the only like explicit sugars that I'll like eat on purpose. Besides that, I'll do like low sugar options. Same goes for like carbs. Like I'll eat low carb bread and low carb wraps, and then outside of that, I will eat like rice and potatoes. But that's it. Like no other carbs. So that's what we had for lunch. Feeling all good. Got my protein, got my carbs in, and we're going to be ready to work out here. The gym is about 25 minutes away, so we're going to feel good. My fiance bought me what is it called? It might be a Rain. I don't remember, but it's like it's an orange creamsicle like energy drink. So we're going to slam that on the way there. And what else do we have for you? I forget what I was going to talk to you about. I don't know. Let's go ahead and get in there. I would change, but this is the outfit I already had on, and I don't really care. I always wear like street clothes into the gym. People always ask me like what my style is or why I wear stuff in the gym. I just wear what I think looks dope, whatever. So I got my Carhartt pants on, my Vans, and this dope shirt. I think it has a motorcycle in the back. I don't know if you can see it. And then we have the long sleeves underneath, which I think is the most, I was thinking about this earlier. Wearing black or white long sleeves under a t-shirt is like the most optimal thing you can do. I've seen Alex Hormozy talk about like how he's like optimized his whole life, even down to like the clothes he wears. So he likes to wear like a tank top and then a flannel over top, because flannel's like warm enough to where you can button it up. It's also like formal enough if you like, button it up like I just said. But also if you want to work out, you can take it off and have the tank top underneath. And that's kind of how I view this, right? I can wear this as like street clothes, but if I'm cold, I got the long sleeves I can pull down, because usually I have these like rows up like this. But if I get cold, pull those down. If I get too hot, take it off. Or if I'm working out, I can take this off underneath and just have the t-shirt. So this is like the optimal outfit for Blaine Riley. Some Carhartt pants or Dickie pants, and then a t-shirt and a long sleeve. Even during the summer, people are like, bro, why you got a long sleeve on? I don't really sweat that much. And even if I am, I kind of like the feeling of being a little warm and toasty. So let's go into the gym. Even though you might not be able to see my vascular arms when I'm working out, we'll show you the pump after. So stick around for that. Also, one last thing. Now, with how many sets I'm recording, I go back and forth every video, I think, between like, should I show them every single set, or should I just show them like one or two sets? So drop a comment down below right now if you're watching this still, and let me know what you prefer. I know some guys will film their whole workouts, but for me, I tend to have a lot of volume in my workouts. Like I'll do 8 sets of side raises, and I don't know if you guys necessarily want to see 8 sets of side raises. And that might even be a way for me to self-reflect. I should probably, simplify the workouts down. The reason I do so many sets is because there was a point when I addressed my workout program and I was like, okay, I want to work on these certain muscle groups, so I'm going to increase them by, 5 to 10 reps a week, or 5 to 10 sets a week. So then I increased them. and now I just do an insane amount of sets and reps, which I feel fine, I recover fine, but in regards to the videos and kind of time-wise, I should probably just simplify the workouts down, like crunch them down into less sets, more effort during those sets. And then, actually, I don't know, because I go pretty hard already. Deer feeder's going off behind me, but let's go ahead and get into the gym. All right, so like I said, starting with triceps, these, honestly, I'll show you what I was talking about earlier. You know, typically with like the cable, you know, you usually adjust it to where it's like kind of like face level, which is fine, you know, those feel good. But I think because with these, you have so much variance here, you can kind of let those arms go wherever they feel comfortable. So I can get a hard squeeze down here, squeeze back, and then if, you know, I start to fatigue out there, I can lean forward and kind of even go this way or do more of like a skull crusher. I can even step back and go here. So I feel like there's a little more variance. Now the issue you might run into is, you know, not being able to go low enough on the rack here, but I highly doubt that will be the issue for you. But we're gonna start here. The kind of superset I'm gonna do with these is normal sets, starting out here tight, hard squeeze down, really trying to think about squeezing, you know, this back area right here hard and down. And then once we get tired, we'll spread the hands out here, let those elbows flare out. I really don't care about it. And then hard squeeze there. Now, the biggest thing that I like with this is letting those elbows flare and like pushing out through them, pushing the outside for the lateral head up there on the outside. Now, I'm not sure if that's really what these are gonna be emphasizing for you. You might feel that more on the inside with your elbows being flared, but for me, it kind of helps me think about letting those arms flare, letting the lateral head stretch. So for me, these are kind of a mix between like a long head and then also a lateral head. But it might feel different for you, and I might even be wrong about that, but that's kind of how I feel. So we're gonna do, I honestly don't know how many sets, just kind of feel it out. I don't know how many sets I'll do of every movement. It's more of like, okay, you know, if it feels good, then I'll probably just stick around. But that's typically around like anywhere from, you know, 2 to 6 reps. Unless we're doing like shoulders, I'll do like 8 sets of side raises. Okay, so a little too light, but that's all right. We'll go a little harder on the next one, a little heavier. Ooh. Currently right now, you know, I typically listen to music or I won't listen to any music at all. It's kind of like either or. Really depends on stress. If I'm super stressed out, I usually just go into the gym, no music, and just kind of, you know, take that as like a time to meditate. But, you know, I guess listening to music as well is a good way to get away from that. But if I'm like super stressed out, especially if I'm recording, I like to just come in and like just work out, talk to you guys. But currently, unless I'm doing something super insane, listen to an audiobook or right now I'm listening to some Dave Ramsey's top teaching moments, so just something educational. Doesn't mean I can't go insane still. You know, if I do need to do some like gnarly sets, I'll probably throw something more intense on. Come on. Whew. Go on. With going on the outside like that, I think it kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever seen me do it or someone else do it, but when you take a cable, like just a cable by itself over your head, you either stand like this and put your arm here, or maybe you get on a knee and put your elbow on your arm to hit the lateral head outside like that. It's kind of what this feels like, because you know you have the elbow flared out, and then you're pushing kind of down and out. It's kind of what that feels like. But it's good superset, going from really tight, you know, not being able to get any more reps there, and then coming out here, kind of incorporating other part of the tricep. Ooh, that burnt. Holy cow. You know, earlier we were just talking about sets and reps, like people coming in with such a strict plan and strict sets and reps, like they have everything laid out to a T, right? They have all the math laid out. And I was just listening to Dave Ramsey talking about debt. Most people, it's not an issue of math, you know, when it comes to their debt. It's an issue of behavior. So a lot of people are experiencing not seeing results in the gym, not because the math's not there. They might have a good program in place, but it's the behavior. It's how much effort you're putting into the gym. It's how much discipline you have. And that, the same thing goes both ways, financials and the gym. You can have the right system in place, but if you're not putting the effort, if you're not disciplined, if you don't have the behaviors for that, then you're not going to succeed. All right, so I was going to walk away and go to something else just for the sake of you guys, but I figured, okay, these feel really good, so I'm not going to move on to something else yet if I'm not fully done with these. And I want to make a commitment to start showing you guys all the sets. I know I talked about this earlier, but I think if I start showing you guys all the sets, then my sets will become more effective. And then, I'm not saying I don't already go to failure, but I think I'll maybe think about it twice. But they'll become more effective, and then I'll also Just kind of simplify things down. Last set here. Come on, big squeeze. Yep. Stretch, big squeeze. Come on. Boom. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Come on. Let's go do some push down. Dip machine now. I honestly wasn't even thinking about this earlier, but when my triceps are feeling pretty good already, I like to do push downs. These are just another gnarly squeeze, except they're more lateral head focused on the outside. I figured, okay, we're gonna probably be doing some overhead sort of stuff to finish off the workout, and that will probably be more long head focused. So let's go ahead and take advantage of having a pump already right now and focus on some push downs, which is gonna target that lateral head. So we're gonna do a couple sets of these. I wouldn't do these at the beginning or even the end of my workout. So like right now, as the triceps are really pumped, this is kind of the perfect time, because if you do it at the beginning, for me at least, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know why. It's like, I'm not warmed up enough. And these are kind of a compound movement, right? You're kind of getting a lot into there. So at the beginning, it doesn't really feel good. And then at the end, I don't like doing them because my triceps are typically already worn out, and this is a heavier movement. So if my triceps are already worn out and I move into this, my chest is just gonna take over completely. So second workout in, we're gonna throw these in, aim for 4 sets, see how they feel, and then move on to probably a stretch after this one. Should have went heavier, got 15 reps, probably could have kept going honestly, but I need to get better at, like, if it feels too light, 6 reps in, I should probably just stop the set, lower the weight, or make the weight heavier and then finish the set. Once I start feeling that chest come in, I'm gonna lower that weight. Ooh, a deep breath. Alright, one more on here. Just feel really good. What is dope about Planet Fitness, and this is why I don't think you should knock Planet Fitness. You know, the colors are kind of whack. I see that. But these newer machines, at least at my Planet Fitness and a few of the newer ones, is they tell you how many reps you're doing in your rest time, which I'm almost at a minute. So just probably do a set, but it tells you exactly how many reps you're doing. So you know, okay, if I push myself to failure, I'm not gonna have to worry about counting. I got it right here, and then I can adjust based off of what I hit. So if you're a guy that really likes to write it down, this would be your best friend. All right, full stack again, and then lower it. Last set though. Come on. Oop. 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 Mm. Oop. Oop. Come on. Oop. Too much chest. Okay. Come on. 3 more. Think while we still got some strength, we'll go ahead and do our overhead stretch, see if we can't not get those done. Some days those feel good, some days they don't. And you'll have some muscle groups like that, or muscle movements like that some days they feel amazing, something clicks. Then the next week you kind of forget what you're doing and it's not really clicking. So we'll do these first as our first tricep stretch movement. And then after that, I think we'll move on to probably just just laying down skull crusher, either flat or with a little incline, kind of see how we're feeling. But I'm thinking these 25s, anything over 25 for me, it doesn't feel that well. Okay. So during that set, I actually remembered something else that I did instead of these that felt good. Like I was just saying, you forget what you did the last week that felt good. It's actually a completely different setup. So we'll do it, but hear me out on these. All right, so the math might not be mathing on this for you. You might just say, why don't you just go ahead and do, the dumbbell or just a cable behind the head. These feel good. Just trust me on these. Give them a try. They might not feel good for you, but it might be too heavy, but just taking a normal barbell and raising it like that. And I think because the weight can kind of move, behind your head like that, wherever you really want it, and then you kind of lean into it and let the weight fall where you want it to fall. It feels really good. So, I don't care what y'all say. Not that any of y'all are talking crap. It's just I know people out there are like, why are you doing those? That's goofy. Just try it. If it feels good, I don't care. What I think is, at least what I think feels good about these is, you know, with the dumbbell, you get it to the top and then all that tension's gone. Even with cables, when you get it to the top there, that cable kind of rests and you can stop. And I think all that tension's gone. With these, you can't really like get out of, like, you can't really get out from here, right? You can't get over, you know, up into this range. So it's constant boom, like right here in that sweet spot. You're good. I think that last workout that I just did, I'm gonna start calling those oil pumps, because those kind of look like an oil pump that you would see in the middle of like a field or something. Just because I don't know what to call them. So those are oil pumps. Now those that you just saw me do there, where I went, you know, skull crushers into those close grip, that's kind of like similar to the first workout we did, where we, you know, went tighter here for the long head and then out more for the lateral. That's a good way to like get more out of your skull crusher movements, is if you start just a normal skull crusher, and then at the end, you know, wherever your hands feel comfortable, preferably like closer in, but then rep out a few of those, get some of the lateral head in there as well. Beautiful. All right. You might be wondering why I'm on the row machine now, but walked away from the bench we were using and lost it, which is fine. And I could go on another bench. I don't know why I didn't do that, but oh well, this feels fine. All right, I think the cherry on top, I don't think we necessarily need any more volume for our triceps. I think we're basically done, about as pumped as we can get. Triceps are weird, they get pumped and they kind of just give out. I think to polish off the workout, cherry on top, one more set of these beauties. These are probably the best feeling thing. So note to self, probably stick around on these a little more on the next tricep movement, or tricep and arm workout. One set here though, and then biceps. So yeah, like right now, they feel pumped, but the burn's not there. Whereas that burn was there at the beginning. We're just fatigued now. Okay. Let's move on to biceps, not take as long as we did on tris. Now, triceps for me are, I'm trying to emphasize them a little more. Because my front double bicep, especially for the long head, I need to really work on to get that gnarly swoop. So I've been emphasizing them more, but just try to make the biceps short and sweet. Something I was just thinking about when I was setting that camera up is like the whole framing of the camera. Hopefully if I set it up right, my head should be in the first like 2/3, and then there should be like at least another third of just space. And I learned this from recording deer hunts. You're supposed to leave some space in front of the deer. So it'd be like their body, their head, and then like a couple feet of space. Just giving them a like lead, I guess you could say. So it's kind of the same idea behind this. I know you guys probably don't care about that. Last 2 sets here will be normal, then flip. Okay, let's flip it. Something I was thinking about in these is letting those shoulders kind of relax and letting that bar really pull the sides of your arms down and out wherever they want to go. That really pulls on the outside there. And then squeezing up into that shoulder. Something I like to think about. I was saying, let those arms stretch out, but even emphasizing locking those elbows out. So not just resting here and relaxing your shoulders, but also kind of locking those elbows out, really stretching that bicep. All right, you guys get to look at my butt on this one. Come on, 3 more. Come on, 1 more. All right, 3 to 4 sets here now. Should be pretty wild. Honestly, I think arms are feeling really full. Biceps are so easy to fatigue out. I mean, I don't know why I always compare them to the leg. Like hamstrings are super easy to fatigue out, and they're both actually biceps of like the joint, right, of your leg. Your hamstring is the bicep. I know there is like a technical term like bicep blank something else, and your bicep for your arm is something else as well, but same sort of style, right? Your quad is meant for locking out, and your hamstring is meant for curling. Same goes for your triceps and then your biceps. So I like to hang off on these preachers, kind of like sit down as low as I can, because typically, right, you're curling here and the tension's kind of gone here. You can't really like get it higher. If you kind of get down here, you can not only get it here, but also kind of crank it up behind the head. Do what you want though. Let's lower that. Oh, yeah, we got 6 reps in that one. Which would be 3. So we did 8 plus 3 is 11 sets. Maybe we'll do another one. We'll do 2 more. Just round it up to 12, and then who knows how many triceps we did. But might even throw in a set of side raises at the end just to get a little shoulder pump before we close down. Always throw in a side raise set at the end of the workouts if you can, because shoulders are superior for aesthetics. Too much. Yes, you can hear me. So I apologize about the music, but shouldn't be a bother. All right, you guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We actually went and got Chipotle after this, and I don't usually eat out, but my parents asked me to pick up some Chipotle, so I grabbed some Chipotle. I think I got some white rice, chicken, double chicken, obviously, to get that protein. Oh, excuse me. And then, what else did we do? Corn salsa, tomatoes, lettuce, cheese, and sour cream. But of course, I tracked all of that. Make sure you're tracking your food. That's most important. I see a lot of guys rely on Chipotle as like their meal prep. And, you know, that's fine, but realistically, it's inaccurate. So inaccurate. Imagine if you were trying to lose weight and you were tracking your food at home, but instead of tracking your food, you were just grabbing things with your hands. Like, yeah, that's about a cup. That's how it is at Chipotle, right? Even though on your app it might say that the cheese is, you know, 90 calories, realistically they're probably grabbing a lot more than that. So it's unrealistic to kind of rely on that as your meal prep. Now that here and there as a good meal substitute, that's one thing, but I wouldn't rely on that. But that's going to wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the arm workout. Without further ado, remember to love God, lift weights, and live life. See you next time.